Welcome to another English lesson. Today, we're going to learn the difference between the verbs borrow and lend. These two verbs, which often cause a lot of confusion for learners, have quite distinct meanings. So, let's dive in and clear up the confusion. Let's start off by understanding the roles of each word. Borrow is a verb that means to receive something temporarily and return it later. For example, can I borrow your pen? Lend is a verb that means to allow someone to use or have something temporarily. For example, can you lend me your pen? Borrow is a regular verb, so its past simple form is created by adding ed to the base form. The past simple of borrow is borrowed. The past participle of borrow is also borrowed. Lend is an irregular verb, and its past simple form does not follow the regular ed pattern. The past simple of lend is lent. The past participle of lend is also lent. Let's discuss them in more detail. Here's how we use the verb borrow. 1. To borrow something, as in, he borrowed 5 books. 2. To borrow something from someone or something, as in, he borrowed 5 books from the library. Now, let's take a look at the verb lend and how it's used. 1. To lend someone something, as in, she lent me $50. 2. To lend something to someone, as in, she lent $50 to me. Common mistakes related to the usage of borrow and lend often stem from confusion between the roles of the two words. Here are some common errors and tips to avoid them. Incorrect use of borrow and lend. For instance, saying "Can you borrow me your pen?" is incorrect. Instead, we should say "Can you lend me your pen?" or "Can I borrow your pen?" Incorrect use of past tense. For instance, saying "Yesterday, she lent me her book" is incorrect. Instead, we should say "Yesterday, she lent me her book." Remember, the past tense of lend is lent, not lend. The word loan is another term closely related to the verbs borrow and lend. As a noun, it refers to money that is borrowed from a bank or another financial institution. For example, they had to take out a loan to buy a car. This sentence indicates that they borrowed money from the bank. The same sentence can be restated as the bank lent them money. As a verb, it means to lend something to somebody. For example, "Can you loan me your bicycle for the weekend?" The phrase lend a hand is an idiomatic expression in English. It doesn't involve the literal act of lending or borrowing. Instead, it is a figurative way of asking someone for help or assistance. When someone says, "Can you lend me a hand?" or "Give me a hand," they are requesting help with a task or situation. Now, let's put your knowledge to the test with a quiz. Let's check your answers.